Now for the NBA postgame show. The final standings in the Atlantic Division have the Knicks on top, Boston second, the injured Nets limp in third, while the 500 Magic, Heat, Sixers, and Bullets all miss the playoffs. In the Central, the Bulls again win the division. Cleveland finishes second, with the Hornets, Hawks, and Pacers squeaking in. Detroit misses the playoffs for the first time in 11 years, while Milwaukee brings up the rear. The surprising Rockets finish atop the Midwest for the first time ever, beating perennial division leaders San Antonio and Utah. Denver improved greatly, while the Wolves and Mavs looked to the lottery. In the Pacific, the story was all Phoenix, as they led from wire to wire, receiving only a token challenge from the Sonics. Portland, along with the Clippers and Lakers, fill out the playoff field. Now, let's look at the Eastern Conference playoff picture. The brackets show the seeding for teams, with the higher seeds holding home court advantage. Patrick Ewing's New York Knicks are the #1 seed overall and will face the Indiana Pacers. The victorious Hornets will be at Boston Garden to face the Celtics in their first playoff game. The New Jersey Nets square off in Cleveland against their playoff opponent from last season, the Cavaliers. And the Bulls, who lost a chance at best record with their loss to Charlotte, open up against Dominique Wilkins and the high-flying Atlanta Hawks. The Shaq and Magic hosted Stacey Augmon and the Hawks. And early on, Dominique had the touch with an easy hoop past Nick Anderson. Mookie loses the dribble to Dennis Scott, and he streaks down court and sails in for the righty slam. Scott Skiles finds his favorite target, the Shaq, for the alley-oop as the Magic opened up a big lead. Nick Anderson streaks to the basket and scores 2 of his 27 as Orlando led 48-35 at the half. Meek in the paint is hammered, but still scores on the impossible layup, plus the foul as he too scored 27 tonight. But the Shaq shook the arena as he jams off the long outlet. And of course, the smile. More Shaq attack as the Magic end up finishing with an impressive 41 win, but missed the playoffs after a decisive 104-85 win over the Atlanta Hawks. Phil Jackson's Bulls came to New York after their loss to Charlotte and hoped to send a message. But it was the Knicks who spoke early as Starks dishes to Ewing for the slam. Ewing shows dream team form here as he drove the middle and dunked on the entire Bulls team. Stacey King misses on the J, but hustles in for the rebound and the quick putback. John Paxson misses on the open jumper, but Scott Williams is in the right place for the tip slam, and the game's tied at halftime. But when Charles Oakley starts nailing jumpers like this, it can only mean that the Knicks are on a roll as they take the season series from the Bulls and win it 89-84. Now let's look at the brackets in the Western Conference. The Phoenix Suns finish with both the best record in the conference and the NBA, guaranteeing them home court all the way to the finals. They open against the #8 seeded Lakers. San Antonio and Portland will battle it out as the #4 and #5 seeds. And the rematch of Karl Malone and John Stockton's Utah Jazz and the Seattle Supersonics is sure to be a major battle. Hakeem Olajuwon's Rockets, as winners of the Midwest, face the #7 seeded LA Clippers. The red-hot Suns hosted the Spurs as the injured Kevin Johnson chatted about his sore knee. And watch as Avery Johnson passes to Dale Ellis with a pretty 2 points. Charles Barkley tries to take it in against the Admiral, but he's stuffed. Sean Elliott has the ball dislodged by Sir Charles, who pushes it up the floor and jams it in. The Admiral misses on the jumper, and Frank Johnson finds Richard Dumas for the big-time slam. Ellie on the baseline dishes off to Avery Johnson, who drives in with reckless abandon for the bucket. Oliver Miller gets his point across as he throws down the huge monster slam. Here's a pretty fast break for the Suns. From James to Richard Dumas, who jams at home for 2 of his game-high 23. But the Spurs would stay close as the Admiral shows some of his firepower with this slam. With the score tied and the clock running down, Danny Ainge nails the jumper that helps the Suns to a 99-97 win over the San Antonio Spurs. Randy Fund's Lakers were in Seattle to face the Sonics. And in the first, former Lakers Sam Perkins takes advantage of his old team as he drives for the easy hoop and the foul. The Lakers would show a little showtime as Dwayne Cooper sets up Doug Christie for the alley-oop slam. In the third quarter, Christie gets the rebound on his miss. But Sean Kemp says, "Out of here, baby." Gerald Patio scores off the long pass with a fake as Seattle sends the Lakers to defeat and their worst record in 17 years, 122-93. Hey, you know we're still going to rewind.
Everybody's dropping in to check out Rewind. Friday, this was one of the greatest moves ever. Dr. J against the Lakers in 1980 finals. Well, how's this for some deja vu? Michael Jordan says, "You can't guard me." Then he goes ahead and proves it with this amazing shot. Hey, Muggsy, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Catch you later, baby. Saturday, it's Sasquatch ripping off the Rockets. Excuse me, have you considered a haircut? Dennis Rodman hits a jumper from the corner, then demonstrates how he did it. Hey, there's nothing to it. Joe Dumars all caught up in a mystery novel. Speaking of mysteries, Rodman couldn't explain this one. The ball goes off his knee, off the rim, and finally goes into the hoop. It's just incredible the things that players can do with the rock. Sunday, our buzzer beater of the week, Chris Jackson cuts through 2 guys, goes over another guy, and he hits. This time of the year, everybody's feeling a little strung out and having a very hard time staying focused. Tuesday, check out Harold Miner as he takes it off the glass, goes around 2 nicks for the left hand, no-look flip. Kevin Lockery says, "Anyone else for Rewind? How about you, Steve Smith?" Steve jams, not once, but twice. Sorry, you only get 2 points, Steve. Tom Gugliotta had this one sent back by Shaq. Malik Sealy with the half-court hook shot, and he nails it. Didn't count, but you had to see it anyway. Wednesday, I don't blame this girl for not dancing. Would you dance with that ugly thing? Now, here is some dancing. The Hornets celebrate their first trip to the playoffs. They love him in L.A., but Jack's making himself some fans in New York. Thursday, it was Alien Night in Chicago. All aliens, half price. Wild finish in Portland. Cliff Robinson hits the J to put Portland up by 1. But with a half-second left, Sir Charles banks it in for the win. And we close with a sister act.